3 links down below in the description box. WWE's full segment of Ricky Saints, formerly known as Ricky Starks in AEW, that signs his NXT contract on February the 18th, 2025, with Ethan Page, who's got his little rinky-dink loafers and clearly shouldn't be showing off those pipsqueak little ankles. Is he waiting for a flood? I really don't know, but I've never understood that look. But that's another story for another day. I also have... Ooh, that's a little bright. Let's turn the lights off here. Ricky Starks will also address the criticism of his WWE name. Basically, people that don't like the fact that he changed it from Ricky Starks to Ricky Saints. It is what it is. I don't think that he was able to keep that name anyways due to copyright reasons with AEW, which I always thought was fucking stupid anyways. Sometimes you were able to do it, like Bret the Hitman Hart, Hulk Hogan, when they would jump from WWF to WCW. Sometimes they can do it, sometimes they can't. He's a New Orleans native, so New Orleans Saints, right? So for him, he really likes it. He says right here, I'm a proud New Orleans, first and foremost. I want to pay respect to that as well. So he likes the name, and that's that. And then here, it's also about Ricky Starks that called out some AEW stars that stuck their nose in his creative. Basically, they were willing to throw him under the bus if it meant that they could advance themselves in their creative. He didn't name any names, but he did say it was predominantly veterans. And what was really interesting, because normally there's this clause, right, where you can't compete for like 90 days, I think it is what it is, if I'm not mistaken. What was interesting here is Starks was released from AEW on February the 10th, and then he made his debut appearance on the 11th, the very next night on NXT. And then he signs like within a week. Now, maybe he's allowed on TV, but he's not allowed to compete. Maybe there's a difference. I don't know if it's a no-show or no-compete. I know it's a no-compete clause. But does that also mean that he's not allowed to be on TV? I don't know. Maybe somebody can chime in. My main point of this whole video was to bring to your attention that, no offense, even though I don't have time to watch NXT, sometimes when I'm invested in somebody enough to be like, hey, what's going on here? Because I do a little bit keep up with AEW, just not a lot because I don't have time. I barely have time to keep up with WWE in my own life. Like I said, I run 3 YouTube channels. I work out. I play guitar. I go hiking like 7 days a week, whether it's the middle of winter or the middle of summer. If there's a thunderstorm, a blizzard, it doesn't matter. My ass is out there, and that's how I've lost a lot of weight. I've dropped roughly 30 pounds since just October. I'm now down 140 pounds in total. That takes priority over keeping up with every fucking single little thing that occurs in professional wrestling. But Ricky Starks, a.k.a. Ricky Saints, now that I understand the story behind his name, I don't think it's dumb. I'll be honest. At first, I was like, the fuck is this? But now I'm like, okay. Well, since you put it like that, it clicked. I'm totally on board. Now, all of a sudden, I think I might actually even like this name more than Starks. Perhaps. I'm very happy for him. If he's happy, then I'm happy. This whole tribalism bullshit, as people call it, where, you know, we'll shit on AEW or AEW fanboys will shit on WWE. You know, you could shit on whatever you want. You could talk crap, back it up. Why does AEW suck to you? This, that, and the other thing. But in the end, I like them all. Sure, I have my preferences, and I just stated that in my video yesterday. In the end, if you are a fan of professional wrestling, you should be happy that there's all these different promotions that are willing to pay their superstars handsomely so that they can provide for themselves and their family if they have one. So when you have people like, I think it was in the case of Edge, when he went to, I almost said NXT. When he went to AEW, a lot of people were like, oh, that's a step down. It kind of depends on how you look at it. If he's getting paid, let's say, twice as much money to work half as much, with Tony Khan being able to do that, I would do it. I make 35 fucking dollars a month on this channel. If Tony Khan had a social media platform that I could upload to and I'd be guaranteed to make $100 a month, oh, hell yeah, I'm going there. That's triple the money. Still only $100, but still, it's a lot better than $35. So I get it. Cody Rhodes, he leaves, he comes back, bigger than ever. Some people love it, including myself. Some people absolutely hate it. He doesn't belong there. So a lot of the people that might be shitting on Ricky Saints for downgrading himself from AEW to NXT, I don't think it's a downgrade. First of all, they let him go, but I also read that he was asking for his release. There was a little bit of stuff going on. Things started to go downhill after CM Punk left, which he agrees to. I'm just happy for anybody. Really, doesn't matter who it is. Chris Jericho. Oh, how could he go to AEW? He loves it there. He likes it more than WWE. You could trash it all you want, but if you like Chris Jericho, if you respect the superstars, you should just be happy for them. Some promotions are ran a little bit more than others. Sure, there's questionable decisions in all promotions. I tend to prefer just how WWE is. It's also what I grew up with for literally over 40 years. Back in the day when it was the WWF. That's right, 3 W's. The World Wide Wrestling Federation. Then it became just the World Wrestling Federation. Then there was that thing with World Wildlife Federation. And anyways, we know about that. And then in the early 2000s or whatever it was, they changed it to WWE. I still prefer WWF versus E, but let's not try and get too cringy here. I'm excited for him. 34-year-old, he's still young. He's in great shape. I think he's great as a talent overall. I think he's a great commodity, regardless of where he goes. I've watched him in AEW. Not intensely, but enough to be like, you know what? I really like this guy, and I barely know anything about him. I mean, I know a little bit more about him now because recently I've looked up some of his stuff in AEW, some of his matches, some of his mic work, and all this stuff. And then I don't even really know who Ethan Page is. I see him for 5 seconds. I'm like, girl, that shit ain't working. It's just not doing it. And he could be great. I could have a bunch of people in the comments section going, oh, shit, really? It's all about that first impression. And my first impression of when I met at the time Ricky Starks in AEW, I was hooked. I was like, this is part of the reason why I'm going to watch this show now and again. I'm going to try and find the time. So pick your promotion that you prefer. It's okay not to like one and how they run things. But the people that keep attacking one another for being happy for Ricky Saints or anybody else, it's really, really ludicrous of an idea to think that way. It makes no sense to me. Or to say things like, oh, he dropped the ball on that one. It doesn't matter what a person does. Edge goes to AEW. Oh, it's a step down. Ricky Saints comes to NXT. Oh, that's a step down. They'd be complaining if the people that are complaining, rather, helps if I could speak properly. The people that are saying it's a step down and he shouldn't be going to NXT are probably some of the same people, potentially, that if he went right away to SmackDown or Raw, would be criticizing him for just being thrown on the main brand, on the main roster. You can't win. Take it as it is. If you like him, you watch him, you tune in like I did, and if you don't like it, you skip it. Skip to the next segment. It's really that simple. I didn't want to see his ankle pants and his loafers. Okay? I didn't want to see it. So what did I do? Well, in this case, I paused it because I wanted to encompass the whole scenario, even though we could barely see. I just realized my big old pumpkin head there is kind of blocked. There he is. Yeah, whatever. I usually have it on a set size so that it's consistent every video, but it's not really about me. So there you have it. Now we can laugh that this whole video mainly featured The Rock's daughter, Ava Johnson, Ethan Page, and then we just kind of saw the little head of Ricky Saints there behind my big head. So you can let me know down below what you think. Do you know who he is? Do you like him? Do you think he'll do well? I think this will elevate NXT. Honestly, I think this is like actually adding some star power. People know who he is. They like him. The crowd is warming up to him. I'm really excited to see where this goes, to the point, and I'm not going to start recording videos on it, but I may now start watching NXT a little bit more. Well, that, and I'm also curious to know if Corey Graves is there. In this segment that I listened to, I don't even think I heard Corey Graves. So I'm not too sure what's going on with that. Anyhow, enough rambling. Thumbs up if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. A thumbs down if you didn't like the video. And I'll make sure when you wake up, you're stuck with those skinny jeans, skinny pants, naked ankle pants, whatever they are. And you can't take them off. That you're stuck looking like that forever. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, naturally, that would be great. But if not, trust me, I totally get it. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And maybe, if I'm lucky, I will see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.